22 years old, I was saved by a stranger. I had just moved to Philadelphia after getting my first job as a nurse, and I rented a small one-room apartment in Center City. So I'd only been there for a few weeks, so I hadn't had a chance to get to the Salvation Army yet to get any furniture. So all I had were my clothes, a few books, a sleeping bag, and a friend had lent me a plastic lawn chair so I'd have a place to sit. So this night, a hot summer night, I'm getting ready to work night shift at the hospital. Take a shower, walk over to the closet to finish getting dressed. Now the closet had this feature where we opened the door and the light came on, and when you closed the door, the light went off. You could step inside the closet, a little 2x2 foot spot where you could stand, and there was a long, narrow opening with a rack of clothes. So I stepped in the closet, and for some reason I closed the door behind me, and the light went out. So I turned the knob, or I should say I tried to turn the knob, but the door was locked. And I was locked inside this small, dark space, the size of a shower stall and the temperature of a preheated oven. So I lived alone, and I knew no one was coming to check on me for days, maybe a week. And I had to get out of there. So I started banging on the door like a kid having a tantrum. And at one point, I leaned against the wall behind me and lifted my leg to try to kick the door down, because I'd seen cops do that in the movies. That didn't work. All that did was cause a hole in the wall behind me. So now I'm standing in this small, dark space, inhaling plaster dust, along with a little bit of oxygen that was in there. And I looked and I could see that little sliver of light between the 2-inch gap between the bottom of the door and the floor. I tried to tell myself that air would be coming in there too, but that didn't work. I went into full panic mode, and I knew I was going to have to call for help. Now, has anybody here ever called for help? I don't mean pick up the phone and call for help. I mean cry out from the deepest part of yourself for anybody, somebody to get you out of the situation. So I started calling for help. I alternated between banging on the door and yelling, "Help me, help me." And then I would try to calm down because my heart was beating real fast and I couldn't breathe and I was really getting scared, and I thought, how long am I going to be stuck in here? You know, it was really pretty crazy. So actually, I'd say probably a little over an hour went by, which may not seem that long to you, but when you are trapped in what feels like a vertical coffin that's been nailed shut, it was an eternity. So I finally hear this knocking at my apartment door, and this female voice says, "Are you okay in there?" And I said, No, I'm locked in the closet. And there was a pause, and she said, "Are you alone in there?" Now, at another point in my life, I might have said, "Oh no, I'm just throwing a small intimate gathering for a few close friends here in my closet." But I was delirious and I said, yes, please. It was an accident, please help me get out. So she said, "Well, I work for the landlord. I'll go get the key and I'll be back." So I thought, God, she's coming back. I'm going to get out. And at that point, I realized that I was still in my underwear. So I said, okay, I'm feeling around like I got to find something to wear to my coming out party. So I'm grabbing at the clothes, and I grabbed something off a hook. I think it was a robe. I don't know. I threw it over myself. And the next thing I knew, this woman, my wonderful, sweet rescuer, opens the door to the closet, and I jump out like an animal sprung from a trap. And I was never so happy to see a stranger's face. And I know she was looking at my red, sweaty face and my long, wild hair with the plaster dust in it. And I knew she could see that hole in the wall behind me in the closet. And I could see her slowly take in the rest of the room with the empty except for the sleeping bag and the plastic lawn chair. And I know she was thinking, who is this person that I just saved? What am I saving her from? But as that person that she saved, I can tell you that I was a young woman whose life was just getting started, and I had no idea how much that life meant to me until I thought I was in danger of losing it. So I told her I was okay, and I thanked her, and she left. And then I got dressed, and I went to work, night shift at the hospital. And that's when I told this story for the very first time as a really good excuse for showing up late. Thank you.
Cindy, everybody, got some. Okay, thanks.